Hello, Lane. This is Josh McMillan, Matthew Vanover's ex-business partner. How are you doing, sir? Today is Friday, May 25th. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. I just wanted to touch base with you and send you this YouTube video because I believe it's a little more personable. You can see my face and my emotions, and just wanted to explain to you what's going on between Matthew and I. If I know Matthew well, I'm sure he probably hasn't filled you in all the details. So I wanted to explain what's happening. First and foremost, I love Matthew. He's a dear friend of mine. During the time that he spent in Knoxville, we really developed a great friendship. And although he was spying for Mr. Mario, I really admired his trust and his loyalty to Mario. So I really developed a great friendship with him during the time that he was training with us at Premier Martial Arts in Knoxville, Tennessee. Through that friendship and that trust, I decided to partner with him and become a teammate of his, and him and I open up a martial arts school. We had the same vision, we had the same idea of what a martial arts school should be, and we agreed on those values and morals. And originally we looked for a location in Nashville, but ended up opening the school in Tucson because his father lives there and he had more family there, and they supported him there. So it worked out best for us to do it in Tucson. I uprooted my entire life. I put my entire life savings into black belt for life. You know, I was very passionate about it. It was a dream come true for me. It was something that I've wanted to accomplish my entire life, and I had the opportunity to do it with Mr. Matthew. My initial investment was close to $7,000 with the cash that I put up front, along with the equipment and the merchandise and even some of the things that we were doing during the build out. My initial investment totaled a little bit over $7,000. So Matthew and I agreed upon the fact that I owned 11% of black belt for life. I'm not going to go into the blame game, this or that, but obviously it didn't work out between Matthew and I. Attached, I have a letter that I sent Matthew explaining why I left, and basically it's kind of a divorce letter between him and I, and it really explains my side of the story as to what happened between our partnership. I've moved on. After being in Tucson for 2 years and really evaluating the past, the present, and the future, I really didn't see a lucrative opportunity or even an opportunity to be stable enough to raise a family with that income off that one business, which is unfortunate because I know that we could have got there. But I've moved on. I live in Florida now. I've partnered with Greg Silva, the president of United Professionals. I'm sure you may know of him or may even know him. And we have a beautiful school here in Boca Raton, Florida. We've been open since September of last year, of 2011, and within this 9 months, we've already signed up over 110 students. It's just myself, and I have a part-time assistant. He's 19 years old. He works about 25 hours a week, and between the two of us, we've been able to reach this goal in this short amount of time. So, I have a great reputation in our martial arts industry. I've got a proven track record, and I'm very passionate about what I do. I mean, this is in my blood, and I believe that I was born to do this. This is my calling. So I know I'm in the right place. There was just some issues between Mr. Van Orden and I that we couldn't work out and we couldn't move forward. So that's really why I left. Mr. V and I had an agreement that he would reimburse me for my initial investment. After 2 years of working with him and being his partner, again, it was just time to move on. Mr. Van Orden never should have had a business partner to begin with. He really wanted to be accountable for everything. He wanted to make all the decisions. He really didn't include me in a lot of those decisions, and we really just didn't have a team atmosphere. It was really his way or the highway, and there was no one holding him accountable. What I said to him and the things we discussed during our staff meeting, it went in one ear and out the other, and he really did what he wanted to do, and that wasn't going to work for me. So ultimately, I had to find a way to make a living. And I'm doing well now, and things are great here, and I've got a very bright future, and I'm very excited But I really wanted to close this and officially put Black Belt for Life behind me. As I was saying, February of 2011, last year, I took a visit to Black Belt for Life and met with Matthew personally, and we had breakfast at the Good Egg there in Tucson, and we agreed that he was going to pay me the $7,000. He was going to reimburse me for that initial investment. Look, there was a lot of times that he would take money from the business and he would have his parents reimburse him and this and that. I mean, there was so much money going in and out of our business account that there was no way to keep track of it all. And he just simply was doing things that were not professional. And anyways, I said I wanted out. Bottom line, I wanted out, and I thought it would be only fair that he reimbursed me my initial investment. And the business did grow. I helped him, grow up to 100 some odd students, and it was just a shame that it happened, but it is what it is. So after we shook hands and we agreed upon him paying me back, the agreement was that he was going to pay me back $500 a month. So 7,000 divided by 500 was 14. So over the next 14 months, he was going to give me payments of $500. Well, our agreement is binding because he did give me a check after we shook hands, after we had that verbal agreement for $500. And then the next month, he sent me a check for $500. I have a copy of those checks. I have documented records of those. So there is a trail showing that he initiated a return payment plan. But after the second check, I didn't receive any more payments after that. I trusted Mr. V. I took him for an honest person. I thought that he was a man of his word. And, I didn't harass him. I didn't bombard him. I didn't blow his phone up. I didn't call him. I didn't hound him. I really gave him the benefit of the doubt and really hoped and trusted that he would be true to his word and he would follow up with what he said he was going to do, and he was going to finish paying me off. As of right now, he owes me $6,000. He should have had the payments finished by February of this year. I would even have put all this behind me if we were friends. It's very clear that he doesn't want to continue our friendship. I've called him and said, how are you doing? I haven't even mentioned anything about the business side at all. Just seeing how he's doing, seeing how his girlfriend's doing, seeing how his life is doing, seeing how the school is going. I would call him once a month just to say hi, just as a friend. He wouldn't return my call, he wouldn't return my text, just completely ignore me for the most part. I was very active in building that school from the ground up, from scratch, and being there for 2 years, we promoted students up to the advanced level, and those students I hold really dear to my heart, and we had a great relationship. And I just asked him very kindly if I can be invited to our very first black belt graduation. After all, I think majority of their influence was through me, through teaching them. So I just wanted to see the original students that I was a part of, just see them graduate to black belt. And I asked him if he would invite me. He said he would. He was very kind about it. And then just simply didn't invite me. So I don't know if those original students, I don't know if those original students ever got their black belt or what, but I was never invited. So that was just a little disappointing. And that's fine, So what I really need is just for this to come to a closure. I know you being a financial person, and I understand that you have a capital investment in the school, and that I'm sure you would want to know what's going on if any money was coming in or out of the school. But I'm at the point where I'm prepared to pursue legal action. I have a great friend that's one of the best lawyers in Tucson, and I'm ready to take this to the next level. I hate to do this, I really do. This is ugly, but I put my heart and soul into that business, and I have 2 years of my life that I have nothing to show for. So the absolute least that he can do, is just return my initial investment. I think that's completely fair. I'm not asking for anything more. I'm not asking for any growth of the business or anything like that. I just want what I gave him at the beginning. He never wanted a partner, so he got what he wants, and now he needs to just be a man and honor up to his agreement and come to terms with that. So if you'd like to call me and talk to me, I'm open to answering any questions you have, and I just want to put this behind me again, and just to clear this up, he owes me $6,000, and I'd like to get it as soon as possible so we can just put this all behind us. So if you need anything, please give me a call. I've also attached the letter that I sent him when we first split ways back at the end of 2010, and then let's just get this taken care of. So hopefully you can give him some words of wisdom, being a hedge fund manager and dealing with money all of the time. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and I hope you have a better insight on at least my side of the story and what's happened. So if you get a chance, and if you'd like to, please give me a call. I've attached my phone number, my email address to the email that I sent you. And I have not made any contact with Mr. Van Orden yet. Perhaps maybe it'd be better if it came from you first, but if I don't hear from you within the next few days, then I'll just go ahead and give him a call and let him know that I'd like to close up on all this. So thank you very much, sir, and have a good afternoon. Bye.